would you say that Jack and Jack are no more officially?
Oh my God. Like that actually, when I see this, and I know we haven't probably been as open as we could have been about this, but it actually makes me laugh when I see certain things like from fans that have been fans of ours for 5 or 6 years, and they're seriously concerned about us even being friends, which to me is like that just is silly. Like that would never happen. And so we laugh about it. Me and Jack J, like he'll send me something of like, someone saying something online, and it's like, dude, if only they knew like we were playing like COD right now together, and like we're like killing, like, like we like, I don't know, like for the last 8 months we've been really quiet in terms of like posting together. And part of that is just because I didn't post for like literally half a year. And I was never in any Snapchat stories, and my friends know, like, just don't put G in the stories. Like, he really doesn't like that for whatever reason, and so we haven't been seen together. And I get why that some people or some fans might think like, oh my God, this is over. But it's just not, that's not the case at all. And that's my guy. Like, I have to talk to him once a day, like always. Like, it's just a part of it.
Let's go back to the beginning. When did you, or who realized out of the two of you that this needed to come to an end?
Well, I don't even think that ever happened. I don't know if you guys remember our last conversation when we brought the Don Julio, but
yes,
we were loose and we were being honest. And I know we brought it up. Like, you asked a question like solo tapes, like what's, is that a possibility? And that's been something that we've talked about. I mean, since literally 2014. As soon as we realized that we kind of each had our own like style and swag on the mic, and specifically with music, like we had our own vibes. We knew that one day, like, I want to make a song by myself, and he had been doing that since the very beginning, because he's just so creative and he can't hold himself back. So he's making songs with our buddy Nate, and he was making songs with our other buddy Rupp, and like, he would put out random stuff that he made on SoundCloud. And that was always cool with me. I was like, yo, this is seamless. Like, hell yeah, like, let's do that. And so we never had a conversation about, like, is this the end? But what the conversation was, I remember last March, so like 13 months ago, which is crazy that it's been this long. But I remember the conversation was more like, is it like, do you think it's cool that we kind of put this on hold for right now? And like, how are our fans going to react to that? Like, is this a bad idea? We're coming off a single that has 150 million streams, like, and then another one that has like 500 million on a feature, in the UK. Like, it was a weird moment for us. Because
why would you put everything on hold?
Yeah, right. Like, it's almost like weird, but you can't fight the feeling, right? And so that the feeling for us was like, yo, we're ready. Like, we feel like kind of accomplished. Like, we've gone on like 3 world tours, basically. We've had sold out nights. We've had thousands of fans waiting outside of hotels. Like, there's girls and guys with lyrics that we wrote from our own minds tattooed on their skin. Like, we've taken this far, and like way further than we ever thought we ever would. And so we felt, I don't know, like, in a way we felt like we did what we came to do, and we're not done. But I think it's, while we're still young, we're 23 and 24 now. Like, I want to make sure that I can put myself out there as an individual before I'm like, before I'm like a man and I settle down with like my wife and kids, like, I want to be able to go experience a solo career as well. And I've experienced a little bit of that with like some modeling stuff and whatnot, but I really wanted to take it like to the next level. And same with Johnson. And luckily we agreed. I remember that day in March that like, yo, all right, sweet. Like, this is a good bookmark. Like, 1 billion streams in a year. Sweet. Like, that's a sick bookmark. Let's leave it right here and just wait for, like, see what we can do on our own. And so I know it's weird. Like, you're like, why would you stop? Like, you guys had a lot of momentum, but this just like what we felt. That's just like how it went. And I don't know. And for us, it's like we never felt like we were abandoning anything because like we're in constant communication. And so I know for the fans, it does seem like, oh my God, it's over. But for us, it's like it's literally no different than it was, 12 months ago. So I don't know. It's like a weird situation. And that's why I feel like it's really important for us to address this, like as a duo, as being together. I feel like it'd be smart to get him actually on this call.
Yeah, please. Can we add him
Let's
in
do it.
here?
Fuck yeah.
Get him
I
the
don't know if
link.
he's in.
Jack
see.
J?
JJ,
What's good, guys?
Oh,
Can
yo.
you see me? You hear me?
Yeah, you look good. You both are
How's
wearing
it,
stripes.
how's it going, gang?
Are you wearing stripes too? I can't even see. I don't see Zach. I don't
Wait,
see
shit.
Zach.
Yeah, my white stripes are a little more prominent. Your black stripes are a little more prominent. But, it's the
Okay.
diametric duo right there.
It's a diametric duo, baby. We complement each other.
So how you guys doing? What's up?
We're doing okay. I lost you now. Where'd you go?
I don't see you
lost
guys
my
either.
video. Okay, wait. Am I back now? You see
Yeah,
me
you
now?
are. You are.
Okay,
I don't
beautiful.
see
My
that. This
video
makes
cut
me
out for you.
sad.
Hold on. Wow.
Can you guys hear me all good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you-
now we're good.
Everybody.
My back?
Boom. Can you?
I don't.
Boom. What's good, guys? How y'all doing?
We're doing okay. We have a lot to talk about here.
Oh,
We
yeah.
do have a lot.
For sure.
Can you
a
see
lot
me,
of air
Zach?
to clear, no doubt.
Can you see me, Johnson?
Yeah, I can see you. I can see all four of you.
Why can't I see Ricky Sanchez, Zach Sang, and Jack Johnson?
But
It's just me and Dan hanging out.
Just,
Oh, you just only see Dan?
well, it's funny. I only see Jack.
Hey, we're meant to be, man.
Looks like it.
All right. Yeah. So Johnson, I don't know if I can't see you anyways, but whatever. We can just keep talking. We were just talking. It got to the point. I guess 50 minutes in. Sorry to keep you waiting, Johnson. But we got to the point where we're talking about. Zach was asking me. You guys were coming off, like a sold out tour and 100 million streams on a single. Like, why? Why would you stop? Why would you stop now? And I was just explaining to him the vibe.
And who brought up
Sorry.
the conversation first?
It is a good question for sure because me and G did have a very big 2019. And 2018 right before that. And I think like in terms of music, I think we were like the most legitimized in I guess the people's perception that we had been to date. And so it definitely kind of felt like, a weird place to put the Jack and Jack shit on a hiatus for a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, G and I we've been like kind of just through the ropes over the last 3-4 years. And at the end of the day, like I think we did 3-4 tours. All these tours were kind of like similar venue sizes. Like it felt like things were growing in terms of the music, but we were just like, how can we really maximize, I guess, our true potential, and really kind of just, maximize the amount of fans that we can bring in, and so in our minds, we're like, okay, obviously, I love hip hop, I love to rap, and there's been times on Jack and Jack songs where it feels like limiting, it's like a lot of the times in these records we have to kind of compromise. I wouldn't even call it a compromise because I'm always so happy with everything that we end up putting out, but at the end of the day, like neither of us was fully flourishing, as an individual in these records. And it kind of felt like an opportunity to really showcase our individuality to the world, especially while, we had these kind of eyeballs on us. And granted, it took a lot longer for like, the culmination of the music to get together and get out than we expected, because we started having this conversation, like a year ago, probably a little more than a year ago, if anything.
Yeah. I remember between the two tours, which would have been March.
Which would have been March, right? Yeah. So G and I were kind of just like, yo, how can we kind of hit just the fans from both angles and the world from both angles and really just maximize, what we can do. And like G was saying, we're only getting older and the time is now to like showcase who we are as individuals as well as a duo. And so, I think this chapter was necessary for both of us. And I mean, I feel like I can speak for G by saying this has been a very liberating last year in terms of just learning a lot about ourselves inside of the studio and just who we are as musicians, further than just the duo aspect. Because now we can kind of just dive into our own worlds and there's nothing we have to kind of like meet in the middle with. It's not like, oh, Johnson, you got to cut this pre-hook even though like the song is, it's a pop song. It feels like it's like a G song, but like, oh, it's like you got to go on there just for the sake of it being a duo song. Now, like, if it's a pop song that, you know, G wants to put out, he can just kill the pop song. And, you know, I can kind of hit them from my respective angle at the same time. So it kind of just feels like a very necessary chapter in both of our lives.
Would you consider Jack and Jack the duo artists or influencers?
I think it's definitely a conglomeration of both. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, G.
My bad.
Who's that?
It's my mom's computer.
She's getting a little yoga call or something.
Yeah, something like that. No, but you were saying something like really spot on, Johnson. Is like Jack and Jack. I wouldn't even say it leans more on influencer side or a music duo side. It's literally a friendship. Like that's literally what it is, and we're just very creative together. And so I feel like we did both very well. We influenced a lot of people, and we had a lot of streams on music related things. So I wouldn't even put a name or like a, what do you call it? Like a title on what we are.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I would agree. I would say like, you know, Jack and Jack is always going to be Jack and Jack. You know, you can't ever like remove that. But at the end of the day, like musically, why would we not, you know, put our best foot forward in our own individual respects? You know, you see groups like the Migos doing this all the time, or like Ray Shrimmer doing this all the time, where like they'll go off, do their solo shit, and then whenever they get around to their next project, they get around to it. But it's, you know, it's a matter of showcasing who you are as an individual alongside with what we can bring to the table as a duo, you know. And like I said, it's a very necessary time in our lives, and I think we got to do it while we're still young.
So are we not closing the door on the opportunity or the possibility of maybe one day doing a record together again?
Oh my God, no way.
Come on, that's crazy talk.
Dude,
I mean, like, bro, we actually have records that we make in my bedroom.
Yes, we have this one record called Space James. Yo,
Wait,
Space James.
What is it called?
I can't wait for you guys to hear Space James.
Space James. I'll send it to you, Zach. It's crazy. It's like on some Tame Impala like indie shit. It's like it's crazy, dude. I mean, we're always getting creative. We're always making music all the time, even still while we're working on our individual stuff. And so, I mean, that's completely like not out of the question, dude. I mean, we for sure want to make music again at some point, but we got to focus on one thing at a time. And you know, while we're putting out this individual way, we don't want there to be confusion. And we want to make sure we showcase our abilities as individuals. And whenever we get back around to making our next record together, that'll happen, you know. But yeah.
Would you guys ever feature each other on a solo song, or if you guys are together, is that a Jack and Jack song?
Ooh,
well, that's interesting. I feel like we were talking about that at first, weren't we, G? About like, oh, we should both do a feature on the other person's record, like on one of the songs. We didn't end up doing it because we just wanted it to be like fully ours. Right. You know? And just like just truly like not have any like muddled like confusion.
That is such a big question, though. Right now. I don't know. Like that could definitely happen, but at the same time, it's like why not just put it out under Jack and Jack? But I don't know. Like if it's one person's vibe, like say it's a really rap heavy song, and Johnson just wanted me to like sing a dope part or like sing a hook or something. Like for sure, I'd be so open to being on a Jack J song. Like that'd be tight.
No, yeah. I mean, I think that'll definitely happen at some point for sure. But yeah, then I'm like, why would we not just call it Jack and Jack? I wonder.
Yeah,
but, hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You feel me?
But that's the thing is like I don't want our fans to think this is the end of Jack and Jack and like, oh, you have to pick a side now or you can only support this or this. Like we are best friends. Like that's something that I need all of our fans to know. Like we're gonna be in each other's lives every day, forever. And that's just a given in my head. And so I want that to be a given in our fans' brains that it's like, oh, this is cool. Like, you know, when I release my single art, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of this too, Johnson, maybe not because I hope this clears it up, but, you know, like I saw a lot of comments that were like not so much a big fan of me putting out my own song. And that like really, that made me really sad, you know, and like, I won't say it like really hurt my feelings, even though it did. It just made me really sad because I'm like, yo, I wish they would realize that we're still just as close. But of course, we've kind of neglected them a little bit as far as
for sure.
You know, letting them know. And I feel extremely guilty about that. That's why when I see like, you know, anybody posting about it, I'm like, man, they deserve to really know what's going on, because if they just only knew, they wouldn't at all feel any sort of way.
But what do they need to know?
Well, I think what they need to know is like, I mean, this was a big conversation between G and I and our manager, Adam. We were like, how do we like address this the right way? And we thought it would be the best to do it like when, you know, the first song is coming out. And, you know, G unfortunately had to take the brunt of the scrutiny because he's putting the song out first. Because, you know, like they're all like, oh, G's the one going solo and like it's his decision. And like, you know, of course he gets all the backlash because his single's coming out before mine is. And so like I get that. And that's like, you know, way to take that on the chin, G. You know, we'll get through it together. But regardless, we were figuring out how to exactly address our fans in the right way. And I think a big part, G was talking about not clouding judgment a little bit earlier. And we didn't want to necessarily get like pushback from our fans because we know wholeheartedly we want to do this chapter and dive into this chapter as individuals because we have to, like for our own personal sake, you know, regardless of what anybody else thinks, we have to do this. And so we were like, yo, if we tell them like 8 months before a song comes out, like what if their judgment like starts clouding us and making us second guess this chapter? You know, like we want to make sure we address it like as it's coming out, like when it's actually happening. And now, I mean, luckily, like you guys, you know, brought us on and we can truly clear the air, like, you know, me and G in the same conversation, which was very necessary. And the biggest thing we want our fans to take away from this is that, you know, we're friends before any of this shit. You know, Jack and Jack isn't going anywhere. You know, if the music's going on hiatus, that doesn't mean Jack and Jack is broken up. That doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
this
people
is
jump
an
to conclusions. They start
thing.
becoming
This allows
conspiracy
you to
theorists.
explore new stuff, conquer new
Absolutely.
challenges.
It's so important, man.
I like
I
you
yeah.
made some really good comparisons, Jack, of like you know, the different groups, Ray Shrimmerd and all those other people. Like you know,
Amigos.
people go and they come, they go and they come.
Yeah. It's like why would you require your favorite artist to like just kind of stay in a box?
Totally.
You know?
Don't
like I feel like hopefully our fans just completely understand where we're coming from and support both of us in our individual respects, and I know they will. You know. And yeah, man,
I know they will. I think it was all just due to a lack of communication between us and the fans, but that had to be done because we had to take our time, you know, as musical artists and make what we felt like was us individually. And, you know, like Jack said, it would have completely clouded I know I have so much anxiety and I'm tweaking about, even if some random guy named Jeff says like, hey man, I hate your hair. I'm like,
hey, that's my brother's name, dude. Watch out.
yeah. So it's like, I take in everybody's opinion, and I knew it would have just screwed with us if we told our fans too early because, of course, you know, if they fell in love with us as friends and they, you know, they have all these memories of coming to our concerts together and meeting all these friends through us and stuff like that, of course there's going to be some backlash and they're not going to want us to split, but it's a decision that we had to make, you know, just as us two, as people, before, you know, we made it a whole thing. So I'm glad we did it this way because I feel like we both are really proud of what we're coming out with. And I don't know what you want to say about your stuff, Johnson, but like dude, like cannot wait for Johnson's stuff to drop. I'm going to be one of his monthly listeners. Like that's the coolest thing is like, we're going to be able to support each other and then come back and do whatever we want to do together. But it's like, there's no rules. And I hate that. Yeah, some people think that there's like, oh, you can only do this.
No. Yeah, it has to be like in this box and stay there. And I think like the goal for G and I in a perfect world is like, yo, we branch off, you know, do the solo shit for a bit and maximize this and get out of this kind of stagnant place we were in with Jack and Jack. Because, you know, we were doing the same venues. Like, I think we did the House of Blues in DC like 3 times, you know, like same crowd. And it's like, dude, how do we, of course our fans are always there, but it's like, how do we capture the masses? And we're like, okay, if we kind of hit people with these 2 respective genres, lanes, I mean, in an ideal world, we can take over both. And then when we come back together for, you know, the reunion tour or whatever you want to call it, or, you know, the next wave of Jack and Jack music, it's only going to make that even bigger because we've both done so much in our individual respects, you know? And so, yeah, I'm really excited. And I just hope the fans can just, you know, understand where we're coming from and understand that we have to do this for us and for them. You know, they're going to get a new level of content and a new level of, you know, music that I feel like that we haven't been able to tap into.
By the way, Dick.
Yeah, they don't even know what they've been deprived of. You know, these past years. Like,
feed them.
There's so many things. And one thing I want to say, while we still have Johnson or whenever, I don't know how long you guys have, but like, this is going to open up the floodgates of mine and Johnson's creativity comedically together so much. I cannot wait. Like, I'm so glad that TikTok is a thing right now because it just feels like Vine to me. And I cannot wait to get back to our roots of creating like comedic content together because I think that's like a sweet spot for us. And I can't wait. Like for some reason, I'm so excited and I feel like this is going to allow like a little bit of space instead of always thinking about music when we're together, we can start to just be creative and have fun in like the comedy aspect of things.
Yeah, get back to the roots for sure. And like that really excites G and I is like, dude, we can keep like Jack and Jack completely alive via like the TikTok space, you know what I'm saying, while still putting out our individual music, you know, like nothing changes between mine and G's dynamic outside of us just wanting to branch off and do solo projects, you know. It's something that we had to do in order to liberate ourselves, you know.
That's good to know, because from the outside looking in, for a while it almost seemed like you guys weren't friends anymore.
Yeah, no, and I get that. Especially with G going ghost on social media for like 6 months, and like we kind of stopped posting on the Jack and Jack account while we were working on our individual shit, and I totally get like where the conspiracies come from, you know. And I get it. You know, a lot of times people jump to the worst case scenario because, you know, they're invested in us. A lot of these fans have been invested in our lives, and vice versa, and we've really built this relationship, this family with them over the last 4 or 5 years. And I get where the fear comes into play, you know. These artists that you've really championed and supported your whole life and put so much time and effort and money into, they're just going to go ghost on you and just call it quits. And we just want to make sure our fans know that is not the case at all, man. You know, Jack and Jack is still Jack and Jack, and we just happen to be putting out music individually at this time and, you know, at this time and place in our lives. So, yeah.
It's definitely something that was fucking with both of us mentally for a while. Like, we would come together at the end of the day and we'd smoke a joint and we'd talk about like everything. And, you know, Johnson, of course, was like way more active on social media. So he was seeing this stuff on Twitter and he's like, dude, like, I have to bite my tongue seeing some of this stuff because they literally think we're not friends. And I'm like, wait, what? Like I was completely unaware of this for a long time. And now, you know, that I've been way more active on social media, I honestly feel so bad that we've left so many people hanging and wondering like what's going on, but it had to be done. And so at the same time, I'm kind of glad with the way it went. So I hope that this helps clear the air around any, you know, diehard fan wanting to know what's going on, or just anybody like yourself. You know, you said you thought maybe we broke up or we weren't friends. Like, it's just not the case. And so I hope people can understand, or this can help.
Dude. Yeah, I had people coming to me like in the club and being like, dude, so what's up? Like, you and Jack are done? Like, literally, like random dudes I don't even know. And I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, how are you caught up in this whole conspiracy shit too? But no, and it's crazy, man.
It's true because we have like a different social life almost, even though we have all the same friends. Like, I know that you know, you're the party king. Like, everybody knows you in LA, at least.
No, bro,
I'm just saying, like you're the social one, you know. Like, if you know Jack from Jack and Jack, you probably know Jack Johnson because he isn't standoffish. He's so welcoming. He's so easy to speak to. He'll speak to any. Well, I don't know. I just feel like in person I get so insecure and I like shut myself down a little bit, and I'm like looking around like it
G's
probably.
G's a homebody, I will say. You know,
yeah, but it's really nice because when he gets back from the club, like, I always have a joint rolled up. We're ready. I want to debrief. I want to hear what's going on. Like, yo, tell me the gossip. Is this person? Is this person?
We'll get him out every once in a while though. Don't get it twisted. You know, when G gets in his element, that kid becomes an animal. So.
Jack J, what was your first thoughts when you heard "My Love"?
Dude, it's crazy. Well, I heard the first version without Don on it. Like,
I played him that on like July 8th, the day after.
Like last summer. Yeah, like damn near a year ago, honestly. And then we were eating at this restaurant Hugo's, which is so good. They've got a
Which
mean
one?
Chipotle.
In the Valley or on the West Side?
The North Hollywood. No, the Valley one, right? Wait.
No. We were on Santa Monica. We grew up. Our stomping grounds is Hugo's on
Santa Monica.
Coldwater.
Magnolia, yeah. But,
got it. You guys are Valley people.
This one was at,
we were in West Hollywood for this one on Santa Monica.
That's like 2 minutes from where I'm at. Keep going.
And so I had heard the song. I'm like, dude, the song's fire. Like, great. Like, just a combination of just R&B and pop. It's just like perfect up G's alley. You know what I'm saying? Exactly kind of what I envisioned for him in a solo project. So I was like super stoked to hear that. And then G gets a call from Adam, our manager. He's like, hold up, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I got to take this call. And so he talks to Adam. And he comes back to the table, and I could just tell something was up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, G, why are you like? You seem like you're like really excited about something. Like, what was that phone call? And he's like, dude, you can't tell anybody, bro. Like, you can, like, all our friends, like, we share so much with our friends, and like, I'm much more like I play with my friends all my bounces and stuff. G has been keeping this shit like super under wraps. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't want to be influenced in any way, in terms of his direction, and you know, so he comes to the table after the phone call, and he's like, just, you know, I see there's something in his eye. Like, he's just like super jittery and like excited. And I'm like, dude, what's up? And he's like, yo, so you know Don Toliver, right? And I'm like, dude, of course. You know, he just is coming up with Travis right now. Like, he's been everywhere lately. he's like, dude, we just got him. Like, there was a bunch of back and forth, but we finally just like got him locked down on this feature, and he's in, dude. And like, Adam's gonna send me the song right now, and so we got to listen to it for the first time in the car, and we go into the car right after we finish our meal, and G's got a nice speaker system in his Jeep. You know what I'm saying? He's got the subs in there and everything, so he can really bump and get a good true first impression. He puts it on, dude, and I was just like, whew. Like, I heard the song, obviously, but once Don's part came in, I was like, dude, what a great feature, and way to catch him, like, on the upswing of his hype. You know what I'm saying? It's like a perfect opportunity for G to, like, truly just get a cosign in that fucking hip-hop world. You know, it's just, like, it's awesome, dude. And I think he brought so much flavor and sauce to that second verse, and I think it's just great, dude. And when I heard it, though, we had to run it back, like, 4 or 5 times the entire drive back to our apartment complex, and dude, I was just so stoked. Because in my eyes, man, I want G to succeed just as much, if not more, as me. And so it's like, I know his success is my success, and I know he views it the same way. And at the end of the day, dude,
100%.
like, if he gets stoked over some shit, I'm just as stoked. I'm fully on page with it. And there's like there's never any envy between us, which I love. That's how you know it's like just a true friendship. Like, I'm just like, dude, fuck yes, this is like beautiful. This is amazing for you, and like, it's finally here. So if you guys are watching this, go stream that shit, or I'm gonna find you, and I'm not. I'm a pretty piece of
that's another huge part.
Strongly worded threat.
I love that point that you brought up. Like, I don't want anybody to think that this is any sort of competition or there's a rivalry now, or like we're gonna fight to the death if we're like 1 and 2 on the charts. Like, no, like, this is all about love and support. And at the end of the day, we are family. We are best friends till death. It's a given. Even if we're on a break, you're still mine. You know what I'm saying? So
it wasn't about me, huh?
So I just want people to know, it's like, it's so much love between us, and it's so much support. Even, you know, like, we might be friends with some other artists and stuff like that, but it's not even the same. It's like with Johnson, like, that's my brother.
Been
I want
together forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want success on both ends, and I can't wait to release Space James one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a
go crazy in the indie rock world. I'm telling you, bro.
Seriously.
Jack Johnson, is there a date on your stuff?
No set date, but the song is picked. The song is picked, and it's
the
awesome.
Song
yeah, I don't want to give away too much because, you know, this isn't like my moment to talk about release right now. But I'm just super excited, man. It's, you know, it's this chapter's really allowed me to dive into my lyrical ability, and, you know, there's certain songs that I'm coming out with that have like multiple like 64 bar verses, which, like, you know, I probably would have never been able to do in a Jack and Jack track, and you know, really showcase, like, you know, my storytelling and, like, you know, my true hip hop ability, and it's not all hip hop, but yeah, dude, it's like there's so much in the vault. And likewise with G, we've been playing each other our stuff, and I'm just stoked, dude. It's like, it's all around the corner, you know. My stuff's gonna be coming shortly after this, and yeah, dude, we're just gonna start hitting them from both angles, and I'm just really excited for what the future holds.
Well, come here and share that story with us, please. I appreciate you very deeply.
I will, dude. We'll have a sit down for sure when I'm coming up to release. For sure.
And I'm hoping it will be in person. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, this isn't you know, still the current state of the world at that time. Are you guys doing good though? You guys staying safe? The family's good and everything?
They're okay. Everybody okay with you guys?
Yeah. Washing my hands, you know, just playing my part, wearing my mask.
Yeah, luckily I'm here in Omaha with like my whole family. So, you know, I've gone and visited my grandparents, and we stayed like, you know, 13 feet away or whatever on the balcony when it was nice before it like started snowing like crazy.
Oh my God.
It's insane. I don't know.
I miss that, dude.
Yeah, it's actually beautiful. I have like neighbors, and my neighbors have really young kids, and they're like playing out, making snowmans. It's like a beautiful.
Doesn't it make you want to have a child?
I you know what? This is also something I wanted to talk about. No, actually, I'm completely joking. No, I don't want a child anytime soon, probably, but maybe. You know, who knows?
Daniel, what
I'm gonna let you guys get back to your conversation. All right, thanks for cutting me in.
Hey.
Hopefully this clears up some stuff with the fans. You know, I hope they can just understand the whole scope of the scenario, and only good things coming, only great things in the future.
Sending you love and appreciation, my friend. It was really good to see your face and hear your voice.
Likewise, man. I miss y'all. I'll talk to you soon. All right, when my single's coming up. All right.
Love, man. I'll talk to you later.
Love, guys.
Next later.